Morning, Bob.
How are you, Erwin?
Baruch Hashem.
I almost forgot what you look like. Yeah, that's you.
Well, come up and visit.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting to that time when almost.
Almost. We were supposed to start Mincha first.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. Amir Hashem.
Yeah, meanwhile, they opened up the high schools in Israel and they got problems.
Really?
Yeah. They say the schools that weren't following the protocols or whatever it was. And kids are coming in. You know, one kid comes in sick and boom.
Oh, yeah. Never.
Yeah. So they already got like 3-4 high schools. The question is, if they close them, then, like one guy says, so they're all going to go play with each other out on the street. They're still going to swim.
Right.
So what are you getting?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You get anarchy. That's what...
Dana says, it's always something. This is no joke, this one.
No. Yom Gemara. Oh, no.
Bob.
You want to hear my... Hello?
Hi, how you doing, Cheryl?
How's your wife? I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone. Nice to see you with a capital C. Good morning, Harvey.
Capital C. Funny. He might still be alive.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the virus, he had to wait to go to Israel. And then he had to be quarantined for 2 weeks.
Not
You
if
talking
you
about
want.
Marvin?
Yeah.
He had the virus, Marvin?
No.
No,
He had been sick for years.
I know.
But he had to wait so long to, know.
No.
Yeah.
That was an experimental thing anyway.
I'm just saying it might have. I'm not saying it was.
Mhm.
But he probably would have gone sooner to do whatever they did.
Hakomin Hashemayim.
Right.
Like Erwin says, Hakomin Hashemayim.
Right. I'll call be there, Shemani. Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, not fortunately, it's called I'll call be there, Shemani.
It's not for us to decide.
Right.
He's in a better place now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. You have to look at it as a transition.
Right. You know, if only we could really fully understand that, then maybe we'd be better off. But it's hard.
Well, somebody's got to be the one to come back. So,
It's hard to understand. Well,
yeah, it is.
You can intellectualize it, but when you
I
have to
don't
deal
think
with...
it'll be me coming back.
That's why it's
Cheryl,
called
you're going to
faith.
be the first, Cheryl.
Yeah, right.
That's why it's called faith.
First of all, they say the good die young. I'll be here till 150.
All right. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not how long. That's not how long you make it. It's how you make it long.
Oh, very good. So where's everybody else? Interesting.
Well, Harvey is there and Teddy is here.
Cheryl, did that mean you're not good or you're very old? Which was it? I don't know.
She left the room.
Okay.
You know she's not old, Harvey.
Oh, okay. So that means we'll take the other one then.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, I guess we're back in business. Almost.
Okay.
Good morning.
You always have trouble getting in.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Rabbi.
Okay, all right. I left you with a little bit to do on your own yesterday,
Yes.
right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope everybody finished and figured out all the variety of ways to put the grain into the 6x6 hand breadths. Excuse me. Okay. And the different approaches. So we get back now on Pei Vav, right? Page 86, Amud Aleph, which is our appropriate page for today. And again, we continue to deal with a topic that doesn't necessarily apply to the general theme of Shabbat. Okay. But we still maintain the approach found in the flow of these Mishnayot as to seeking a biblical basis for the particular practice. So our new Mishnah is where we're going to start on Pei Vav Amud Aleph. Okay. The implication is that a woman has had sexual relations, and as a result of those sexual relations, she is going to perhaps discharge semen, okay, even a number of days afterwards. The implication also seems to be that that semen is active or strong enough. And so the Gemara now, the Mishnah, and then the Gemara is going to indicate that the same way that for a man, okay, the discharge of semen is going to render him tamei, so likewise it's going to apply for a woman as well, okay? And so our Mishnah starts off, Matnitin minayin lepoletet shichvat zera. How do we know that a woman who discharges semen, okay, after relations, b'yom hashlishi, 3 days later, okay, shetehei tme'ah, that she would be considered unclean, tme'ah, shne'amar, says the pasuk, hayu nechonim l'shloshet yamim, that they were needed to be, prepare themselves for 3 days. Remember the implication being that before Matan Torah, men and women had to separate for 3 days in anticipation of the giving of the Torah, of Ma'amad Har Sinai. Okay, so the Gemara now is going to raise another kind of question. Minayin shemarchitzin et hamilah b'yom hashlishi. How do we know that one must wash? And it was their practice to bathe a newborn child 3 days after it had been circumcised. Okay? Shechali yod b'Shabbat, even though they would have to heat the water, warm the water in order to wash, to bathe the child, okay, if that occurred on Shabbat. Shne'amar, vayhi b'yom hashlishi, b'yotam koevim. Again, citing a pasuk, 3 days after Abraham had his circumcision, okay, that was still some sort of discomfort. Right? There's another question. Minayin shekoshrin lashon shozoharit. Okay, how do we know that they would tie a scarlet strip of wool on the animal, right? That was going to be sent out into the wilderness, the azazel. Okay, Barosh Sa'ir Hamishtaleach, on the head of the goat that was going to be sent out to the wilderness, right, to Azazel. Again, Pasuk, Shene'amar, Im Yihiyu Chata'echem Kishanim, Kisheleg Yalbinu. Okay, again, the idea that sins are like scarlet, they'll should turn as white. Right? Another question. Minayim l'sicha shehi kishti'ah b'yom haKippurim. How do we know that the application of oil, anointing, rubbing oil on a person's body is equivalent to the act and prohibited, just as the act of drinking is on Yom Kippur? Okay. Afal pi she'en raya ledavar, says the Mishnah, even though there's no clear source, okay, proof of this, zecher ledavar. There's a suggestion, if you will, to this. Shene'amar, citing a pasuk from Tehillim, v'tavo kemayim b'kirbo u'keshemen ba'atzmotav. Okay? Again, that citing the pasuk from, as I said, Tehillim, inward parts like water or like oil into his bones. Sorry. Now, Gemara is going to deal with each of those items. Okay, starting our first one with the woman who discharged, right? Reisha, the Loka Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. The beginning of our Mishnah can't be according to the view of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Okay? Seifa, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. But the later, next phrase, the next section of our Mishnah, okay, in terms of the washing the circumcised infant, seems to be according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. De'ik Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, okay, why? Because if it had been according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, says the Gemara, what would have happened there? Okay, Tahorah, she would. Okay, Shemanale. We would have learned that he would have argued that she is clean, right? That she is fine, right? Man delo moke kitanai. Okay, so we ask the question then, okay, why does he not want to explain it? Okay, as the following. In other words, how is it possible? It would be our preference to explain the Mishnah according to a single sage, as opposed to saying, well, perhaps there's two different sages referred to in this Mishnah. So the Gemara is asking, Man de lo moke ketanai. Why doesn't he interpret or explain our Mishnah as if there are different sages? Tana Reisha Tahora, okay, where the first Tana teaches that she would be Tahora, umoke la lekula karabi Elazar ben Azariah, okay, and therefore establish the entire Mishnah as based on the, let's say, authorship of Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah, right? Uman demokim ketanai, okay, or according to the one who establishes it as multiple Tanaim, Reisha Rabbanan, the Sefer Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, that the first statement could be according to the rabbis, while the second statement could be according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Okay? But we don't have an answer, right? So the Gemara, however, has to continue and cite the following Braita. Right? Tanu Rabbanan, says Braita. Poletet Shechvat Zera B'yom Hashlishi, Tahora Divrei Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Okay, according to the Breita, a woman who discharges semen on the third day after relations, she is pure. Divrei Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. That's the view of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. All right? Okay? The implication being it's no longer active by the third day, and therefore it doesn't render her tme'ah. Okay? His view. Rabbi Yishmael Omer, Pa'amim Shehen Arba Onot, Pa'amim Shehen Chamesh Onot, Pa'amim Shehen Sheish Onot. Okay? In other words, Rabbi Yoshua here, Rabbi Yishmael, I'm sorry, is suggesting that we don't base it on the number of days, but instead we base it on 12-hour periods. Okay? And that if you say 3 days, 3 days could contain a different numbers of 12-hour periods. Okay? If she had relations at night, okay, then it could be 12 hours till the next morning or the next day. So that in one day it could be two 12-hour periods. And a day, okay, so if one day could be two 12-hour periods, 2 days could be 4 12-hour periods, 3 days could even be 6 12-hour periods. Okay? Now, okay, so that is the view of Rabbi Yishmael. Okay? Now, Rabbi Akiva, however, is going to present another view. Okay? And therefore, according to Rabbi Yishmael, by the way, she would still be unclean. Okay? Rabbi Akiva is going to present the following. Rabbi Akiva Omer Olam Chamisha. Okay? That it is always a view that her uncleanness may last up to 5 periods. In other words, 5 12-hour segments, let's say. All right, and what happens? Ve'im yatzta v'ktsat ona rishona. And if, says Rabbi Akiva, she has finished the first 12-hour period, right? Then what happens? Okay. Notnim la miktsat avona shishit. Then we would count, okay, into the 6th 12-hour period, which would be into the 3rd day. Under that circumstance, then we could understand that Rabbi Yishmael would say she is tameh, but Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah would say no, she's not. Now, what happens? We see the following. Amruha Rabbanan Kame de Rav Papa. Right? The rabbis said the following before Rav Papa. Va'amrela Rav Papa the Rabbah. And others say it was Rav Papa who said it to Rabbah. Bishlema Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah Kirabanan. Okay, that's possible that we might say that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah holds like the rabbis. Why? All right, in what basis? Okay. The Amre, because they say, all right, B'chamisha, if her relations occurred on the 5th day of the week, right? Avid Prisha, right? That namely, afterwards she separated, okay? And therefore, as a result, by Shabbat, okay, if she had relations, let's say Thursday night, so into Friday would be 1 12-hour, Friday then would be in the 2nd, Friday night would be a 3rd, Shabbat already would be the 4th, so that would already be at least 4 periods, right? And therefore, that's not really 3 days, okay? Rabbi Yishmael, okay, and Rabbi Yishmael ka Rabbi Yossi. And we would say that Rabbi Yishmael holds with Rabbi Yoshi, according to Rabbi Yossi, the Amar Baravi'i Avi Prisha. And Rabbi Yishmael would say, no, for her to be clean, okay, it would mean that she would have to have separated after the intimacy on Wednesday night. Ela Rabbi Akiva Kaman. So the Gemara asks, so then according to whom does Rabbi Akiva agree? La'olam ke Rabbi Yossi. We have to say that he must agree with the view of Rabbi Yossi. Okay, right? Kida'amar Rav Ada bar Ahava, as stated by Rav Ahada bar Ahava, namely the following, based on that, following, Moshe bahashkama Allah, that Moshe, when he told the people to separate for 3 days, must have went up to the mountain early that one morning. Ubahashkama yarad, and that he went back down, came back down, okay, early again in the morning, right? Why do we say this, right? Bahashkama Allah, we say that he went up early in the morning, because it's written, Vayeshke Moshe baboker, Vayal el Har Sinai, that he rose up early in the morning and went up to the top of Mount Sinai. Bahashkama Yarad, and that he came down early in the morning. Why would he say this? Because again, the pasuk says, Lech reid va'alit ata v'aharon imach. Okay, go and get down, and then thou shalt come up, you and Aaron your brother. Okay. So in other words, what happens? Since we see the following, right? Makish Yerida La'aliyah, that they made an association between the going down and the coming up, namely Ma'aliyah Bahashkama, Af Yerida Bahashkama, the same way that he went up early in the morning, so likewise he went down early in the morning. Okay? So if he went up on a, let's say, Wednesday morning, came down on a Thursday morning, all right, he would have told them separate 3 days, all right, which would have started Thursday morning. Thursday, Friday, they were separate for Shabbat, okay? Right? So the Gemara asks, Lama le lememra laho? Okay, what was it that he needed to tell them so early in the morning? Baha amar Rav Huna. And on this, Rav Huna said, this is what he told them, okay? Yisrael kadoshim hein, right? That the Jews are holy, argued Rav Huna, right? Right? Ve'ein mishamshin b'mitotein bayom, okay? That they would have had relations only at night and don't have relations during the day, okay? And so therefore, Rav Huna argues that would have started counting the periods of separation after Wednesday night, and that's when it would start. 12 hours Wednesday night into Thursday, then Thursday would be a second 12-hour period. Thursday night would be a third. Friday morning would be a fourth. Friday night would be a fifth, and so on unto Shabbat then. Says the Gemara, Ha'amar Rabba. But Rabba says, Im haya beyayat afel mutar. He argues, but if the house was dark, they could cohabit during the day. Also, Amar Rabba, and Saba says, V'itema Rav Papa, and others say Rav Papa says, Talmid Chacham ma'afil b'talito umutar, that a sage would be able to cover himself with his cloak to create the darkness for relations, and therefore it would be permitted for him to have sexual relations during the day. So again, we get into an argument here, it seems, as to when this 3-day period of separation was to be applied prior to Ma'amad Har Sinai. Could it have started Thursday morning? Okay, Wednesday morning? This is the question. Now, Laha, says the Gemara, Tvulei Yom Ninu. But if that's the case, if you say that it happened, okay, let's say Thursday, and you're concerned about there having to be no relations when they received the Torah on Shabbat, okay, then that would have perhaps made them by Erev Shabbat, they would have been only Tvulei Yom, have immersed in a mikveh, and still not completely tahor. Abai, okay, so what happens? Abai bar Ravin, Abai the son of Ravin, Rav Chanina bar Avin, also his brother, the Amrei Travaihu, says the two of them, Nitna Torah l'Tvul Yom. If that's the case, then it seems that the Torah was given to those who Tahara, whose cleanliness was not completed. Okay? Now, Yativ Merimar v'kamar la lahashma'ata. Merimar was sitting, and he was repeating this particular lesson. Amarle Ravina Merimar. And the Ravina, okay, says to Merimar regarding the lesson, Nitna Kamrat, O Ru'ya Kamrat. Did you say that it was actually given to them? Or do you say that they were fit? Okay, that it was fitting, appropriate that it be given to them. Amarle, he answered, Ru'ya Ka'amina. I am meant to say that it was fitting, appropriate for them to receive the Torah. Okay? In other words, that it was already by Friday that none of them were ready to discharge any semen, and so therefore they were clean. Now, let's go on. Below Bene Shumshe. So does that mean that they should have bathed at twilight on Friday night before receiving the Torah? The Kablu Torah Bene Shimshe, okay, and that they would have received the Torah actually at twilight? Amar Rav Yitzchak, says Rav Yitzchak. Lo, says, no, that's not the case, right? Mirosh Baseter Dibarti. No, says we have with Pasuk that says from Yeshayahu, okay, from the beginning I have not spoken in secret. In other words, Hashem did not give it to them at that point. V'lit bolu b'tzafra deshavta, v'likablu Torah b'tzafra deshavta. So then are you suggesting that they should have immersed in the morning, Shabbos morning, and received the Torah later than Shabbos morning? Is that the case? Amar Rav Yitzchak, Shalo Yehei Halalu Hochim L'Kabel Torah, V'Halalu Hochim L'Tfilah. That wouldn't have been appropriate, says Rav Yitzchak, because then you would have had some who were clean going to receive the Torah, and others who were not yet having to go to mikvah to purify themselves. Amar Rab Chia b'Rabbi Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. So he says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, okay, Zo divrei Rabbi Yishmael b'Rabbi Akiva. Those are the words of Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. Aval chachamim omrim, but the sages say, sheish onot, okay, shleimot ba'ina, that one needs 6 full 12-hour periods, okay? That being the case, right? Before, right, the discharge of semen has no effect, right? So therefore, the implication would have to be, for that to work out, they had to separate Wednesday night, okay, to start 12-hour periods before Shabbat. Okay? Amar Rav Chisda, says Rav Chisda, machloket shepirsha min ha'isha. Their argument is when they separated, right, from the woman. Or we could argue their argument is when the semen no longer is discharged from the woman. Shepirsha min ha'isha. Okay, that when it's okay, aval pirsha min ha'ish, but when the semen is discharged from the man, tmea kol zman shehi lacha. There we say that he is tame, okay, so long, or she would be tame, so long as when it is moist, okay? Now, Rav Sheshet, Mativ Rav Sheshet. Rav Sheshet challenges us with the following braita: V'chol beged, v'chol or, asher yihye alav shechvat zera. If we have any kind of garment or any kind of piece of leather, okay, that could have discharged the semen upon it, prat the shechvat zera shehi srucha, with the exception of any that is clearly foul, clearly impure, okay? Things like that. Mai, lav shapir shah min ha'ish. Wouldn't it not be then that she has already separated from the man? Okay, in other words, therefore it's already, or that we can say that since it's already separate from the man, it should no longer render one tameh. Lo, says the Gemara, shepirsha min ha'isha. No, we're referring here to the fact that it has been discharged and separated from the woman, and therefore it is no longer going to render her tme'ah. Now, by Rav Papa. So Rav Papa asks the following question, okay? Shechvat zera shel Yisrael b'ma'ei kutit or b'ma'ei goya, okay? What about the fact that if a male Jew's semen is inside that of a non-Jewish woman? Mahu, what's the status? Yisrael, that the ige b'mitzvot. Do we say Jews who are concerned about the observance of the mitzvot? Chavil gufayu, their bodies are warm. Akum, okay, or non-Jews. The lo da'ige b'mitzvot, who are not concerned about the observance of mitzvot. Lo, their bodies are not warm, and therefore it doesn't keep the shechvat zera, the semen, active. O dilma, or perhaps kevan da'achlin shktzim v'ramazim, that since they, Gentiles, eat all sorts of creeping and crawly things, right? Chavil gufayhu, that their bodies are also warm, and therefore would keep that shechvat zera active. Ve'im, and render therefore tameh. Ve'im timtze lomar, kivan de'achlesh katzim b'ramazim chavle gufayhu. Okay? And if you're going to say then that because they eat these things, their bodies continue to be warm, but my eye behema mahu, then what about if it's in the internal organs of an animal? What's its status? Okay. So the Gemara now goes in and raises the following: Isha hi de'id la prosdor misarechet. Okay, a woman who has a vaginal canal, and therefore, okay, as a result, the Shechvat Zera may continue to be active, okay, and therefore what happens is in this case, okay, we might say that it becomes putrid, and therefore ultimately is not going to render her tmeah. Aval behema, delete la prosdor, lo, but an animal that does not have or has a different kind of vaginal canal, no, it's not going to keep that Shechvat Zera. Oh, Dilma Loshana. Or perhaps we say that there's no difference. Teku. We really don't have here a final answer. Okay. Now, we're going to, since we saw in this previous all discussion that there really was a question as to at what point Moshe told the nation to segregate themselves, men and women, before Ma'amad Har Sinai. Okay, we're now going to get into a long discussion in the Gemara as to Shavuot's actual date. When did Ma'amad Har Sinai occur? And we're going to see that there's an argument here. Okay? And this is going to continue for the rest of this Amud, and then on to the next as well. And ultimately from there, we continue into a whole digression in the Gemara as to various drushes about Ma'amad Har Sinai before we get back to our topic of issues pertaining to Shabbat. Okay? So we now start, if you will, a subject appropriate to our Yom Tov that we just finished, the following. Tanu Rabbanan, a Braita teaches, B'shishi b'chodesh nitnu aseret hadibrot liYisrael. On the 6th day, it would seem, of the month of Sivan, right? The 10 statements, commandments were given to Israel. Rabbi Yossi Omer, says Rabbi Yossi, Bishiv Abo, on the 7th of the month. Amar Rava, says Rava Dekuli Alma Berosh Chodesh Atu Lemidbar Sinai. Says Rava, everybody is in agreement that they arrived in the wilderness of Sinai, okay, on the 1st day of the month, right? Kativ Hacha. And it's written, why? Because the pasuk says, Bayom Hazeh Ba'u Midbar Sinai. On this day, they came into the wilderness of Sinai. Uktiv Hatam. And elsewhere it's also written, Achodesh Hazeh Lachem Rosh Chodashim. That elsewhere it's written, this month shall be the beginning of the months. Namely, Malahalan Rosh Chodesh, Afkan Rosh Chodesh. So since there it says it's the 1st, that's Rosh Chodesh. So here too, it has to be the 1st of the month. Right? Udekuli Alma, B'Shabbat Nitnat Torah Yisrael. And everybody is in agreement that the Torah was given to the Jewish people on Shabbat. Why? Kativ Hacha. Because here it's written, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho. Because it's written clearly, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Uktiv Hatam. And elsewhere it's also written there, the following, Vayoma Moshe el Ha'am, Zachor et Hayom Hazeh. Okay, to remember this day. Malahalan Ba'atzomo Shel Yom, since there it refers to in essence, that particular day, okay? Right? Ba'atzumo shel yom. Afkan ba'atzumo shel yom. So here too, it must refer to that particular day. Okay? Kiplige. Where do they argue? Asks the Gemara. Where do they differ? B'kivi'ah diyarcha. They argue on the terms of what here was the fixing of the new moon, the new month. Rabbi Yossi Savar Bechad B'Shaba Ikva Yarcha. Rabbi Yossi's of the opinion that it was on the first day of the week, in other words, Sunday, that they established the new month. Ubechad B'Shaba Lo Amaraho V'Lo Mideh. And therefore, on the first day of the week, Moses did not say anything to them, Mishum Chulsha Da'archa, because of their being tired, exhaustion from the journey. But Trei B'Shaba, on the second day of the week, Amar Lahem, he said to them, Va'atem Tiyuli Mamlechet Kohanim, okay, that you will become a kingdom of priests. Okay. Betlata, let's just go over a little bit. On the third day of Amar Laho, he said to them, Mitzvat Hagbala, okay, that they would have to set boundaries around the mountain. Ba'arba'a Avud Prisha. And on the fourth day of the week, okay, namely on Wednesday, they would separate from their wives. Okay. Okay. Now, what happened? V'Rabbanan Savrei, and the rabbis of the opinion, B'Trei B'Shaba Ikva Yarcha. On the second day of the week, and on Monday, in other words, they fixed the new month. B'Trei B'Shaba Lo Amar Laho V'Lo Mideh Mishum Chulsha Da'archa. And also on that second day of the week, okay, Moshe did not say anything to them because of the exhaustion from the journey. Right? But Plata, on the third day of the week, namely Tuesday, Amar Lahem, Marla, he said to them, Vatem Tiyuli, that you'll be kingdom of priests. Ba'ar Ba'a, on the fourth day of the week, Amar Laho, Mitzvat Hagbala. That's when he told them, okay, to surround, set boundaries around the mountain. B'chamisha, and on the fifth day of the week, Avud Prisha. That's when they, husbands and wives, separated. Right? Now, we're going to pick up tomorrow and continue at this point, right? Because we'll see that this is going to be a machloket, okay, as to whether, which day of the week they were separating, therefore which day of the week they received, even though Shabbat was the day that everybody was in agreement they received the Torah, how did you count? And therefore, did Moshe add time or not? Right? So we'll stop right here at this which starts the challenge to both of them. Okay? We'll see everybody stay well today. Have a good day. And we'll check in tomorrow at our regular time, 8:15. Okay?
Have a good day. Thank you, Rabbi.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you,
well.
Rabbi. Have a great day.
So long.
Be well.
Okay.